card stacked. Next Friday, let's fucking get it. Whole card, movies, come on. Stop playing, people. Look at this.
Right.
Look at this. Come on.
I'm just fighting him. And there won't be much words being said in that ring except for punches being exchanged. And it's just a battle of the fittest, battle of the smartest, and the last man will be standing.
Breaking news in the boxing world as Anthony Joshua's latest face-off leaves Jake Paul visibly shocked and rattled. The sheer presence and new build-up of Anthony Joshua shows he's on another level. And Jake Paul looks completely outmatched in this showdown. Jake Paul... Anthony Joshua sending Christmas cards and warnings to Jake Paul is classic AJ, mixing respect with a psychological edge. He's showing that he's aware of the hype, but isn't intimidated. Jake Paul might see it as a joke or a gimmick, but AJ's subtle message is clear. He's calculated and ready. And Paul is stepping into a ring with a real former world champion, not just a YouTuber looking for attention.
On Saturday night, I have a tough opponent in front of me. Everyone needs to get the pay-per-view, the zone, pull up, be there, but
Eddie Hearn's words hit hard. AJ isn't just a strong fighter. He's methodical and finishes opponents decisively. Comparing Jake Paul to Francis Ngannou shows the vast gap in skill and experience. Paul might have power, but AJ's precision and history of dominating top-level opponents means this is a mismatch, and anyone expecting an easy night for Paul is dreaming.
A heavyweight boxer, but let's be honest, you're just heavy. That's good. You never held a title belt, nor will you ever, but I'm happy to lend you one of mine to spank yourself with. I hear you're into that.
Moses's take is brutally honest. Jake Paul might be decent against lesser opposition, but stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua is another level entirely. AJ's Olympic pedigree, championship experience, and sheer power make him a mountain for Paul. Luck won't save Jake in this fight. Preparation and raw talent alone cannot match the skill and mindset of a former world champion like Joshua.
I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, "Oh well, it was Jake Paul." Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then
Jake Paul is stepping into a world far beyond YouTube fights. AJ doesn't need to try to dominate. A single serious punch could end the contest. Paul's team might believe in an upset, but underestimating Anthony Joshua's focus and power is a dangerous gamble, and the consequences could be severe.
I think he's a decent boxer, but they're not on the caliber of obviously Anthony Joshua. But
Roy Jones Jr. lays it bare. Jake Paul is out of his depth. AJ is a veteran, a world champion who knows how to finish fights. Paul may have some skill and power, but against someone of Joshua's experience and ability to read a fight, he has no real chance. AJ will expose him immediately.
I think people are underestimating how dangerous this fight is.
My initial thoughts was, this is craziness, this is madness, you know, Jake Paul's going to get hurt. As time's gone by, I'm starting thinking, okay, now that initial shock is gone and the fight is taking place, if I'm Jake Paul, why am I taking the fight? What's the point of me putting myself in such harm's way? If Anthony Joshua's ever going to fight terribly, it's going to be against someone he completely overlooks, someone he doesn't believe deserves to be in the ring with him. All it takes is one shot, and I think Jake Paul and his team believe what they've got is enough to somehow pull off one of the biggest upsets in the history of boxing.
Amir Khan perfectly explains the mismatch. AJ has everything to gain and nothing to fear, while Jake Paul risks serious damage. This isn't about fun. It's about business and reputation. Paul's hope relies on one miracle punch, but Joshua's experience and power make that nearly impossible.
Big news also this past week, AJ versus Jake. I mean, everyone's been calling for Jake to fight a real fighter. What do you think?
And Jake gonna fight a real fighter, and if the real fighter fights like a real fighter, then Jake gonna take a real nap. AJ, he showed you with Ngannou.
He ain't one of these guys that just go pick out the street and say, oh, I'm going to fight AJ. No. AJ is an Olympian. AJ is a former world champion. AJ is not two-time world champion. AJ is nothing to play with. So when you go in with AJ, have your mind right, because if you can't take it, he going to find out.
Were you surprised when you heard about that?
No, I was not.
So you think he's going to knock him out, though, AJ?
He's going to definitely knock him out. Because, I mean, don't get it wrong. Jake's smart, and Jake does have the power. If he can catch him first, he knows if he can catch AJ first, he can get AJ out. But he don't catch AJ first. Like Ngannou couldn't catch him first. AJ been boxing a long time. AJ better than they give him credit for.
Johnny Nelson is brutally straightforward here. Anthony Joshua has the skill, power, and ring IQ to completely dominate Jake Paul. There is no reason to let Paul see the later rounds. AJ can control, punish, and finish him early. The suggestion that Paul might survive is almost laughable. Nelson highlights the mismatch clearly, reminding fans that Joshua's championship experience is far beyond anything Paul has faced. And this fight is more about a professional teaching a dangerous lesson than a competitive bout. Paul entering the ring is stepping into a world-ass storm.
Knockout, brutal knockout. Nakisa is making a big mistake putting Jake Paul in a fight like this because he's gonna want to see him get hurt. I mean, these guys are going for the money, where really, you know, he has a life after boxing as well. Let's hope he comes out the ring in one piece.
Could I ask you individually, why are they doing this? So start with AJ, why is he doing this?
AJ, if I was AJ, I'd do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a YouTuber, and why not? I mean, getting paid millions and millions of pounds. And why is Jake doing? Jake's just doing it for probably the fan following. Maybe he wants to get the boxing audience. But look, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change the fight, but I just don't think he has that one punch to change the fight. It's just does Jake Paul.
Johnny Nelson.
Duke McKenzie's words are a warning and a confirmation of AJ's power. If Joshua lands a serious punch, Paul could be in real trouble. The health risks for Paul are obvious. Yet, the commercial pressure makes this fight inevitable. AJ's strength, technique, and experience guarantee he's far superior. This isn't a typical matchup. It's a calculated business fight that heavily favors Joshua. McKenzie's concern underscores the danger Paul is putting himself in. From a fan perspective, it's thrilling to watch, but there's a serious reality to AJ's ability to end this fight at any moment.
Torture him all the way through. I keep saying it. I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what, AJ...
Derek Sora nails the truth. This should be over before it starts. AJ doesn't need to try to dominate. He will control the fight from the opening bell. Paul's attempts to make this competitive are wishful thinking. Joshua's experience, power, and discipline in the ring are on another level, meaning the outcome is predictable. Fans shouldn't expect a dogfight. They should expect AJ to assert his dominance and remind everyone why he is a former world champion. Kazora's insight emphasizes the inevitability of Joshua of asserting his authority early and leaving no doubt about his superiority.
With Jake Paul on a serious level and catches Jake Paul with a serious punch, he will do far more damage than that. So from a health and safety perspective, I hope the fight doesn't happen, but from a commercial perspective, the fight has to happen, because this fight generates...
Adam Smith raises a tactical point that adds intrigue. AJ could end the fight at will, but he might pace himself due to a 14-month inactivity. This adds a layer of strategy for Joshua, allowing him to control the rounds while maintaining sharpness for the future. Paul has no such advantage. Despite this potential pacing, AJ's dominance is unquestionable, and even a calculated, measured approach would see Paul overpowered. Smith highlights that AJ's experience allows him to balance aggression with preparation, meaning Paul's chance of landing anything significant is almost zero. And the fight is a one-sided test of skill.
And I think this should be laid to rest, because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to smoke.
Sam Jones sums up the peril perfectly. Anthony Joshua's power is absolute, and if he lands clean, the result could be catastrophic for Paul. Comparing it to Ngannou's knockout shows the level of danger involved. While fans might joke about Paul surviving, the reality is that AJ's punches are fight-ending weapons. Paul's lack of elite experience makes him extremely vulnerable. This is not a hypothetical scenario. It's a legitimate risk every time he enters the ring with Joshua. Jones emphasizes that the fight is a spectacle with serious consequences, showcasing AJ's devastating capability and Paul's extreme disadvantage.
Win whenever he wants to win, but will he want to win early? Will he want to get some rounds in, being inactive for 14 months to prepare him for 2026?
Johnny Nelson brutally exposes the truth that everyone watching knows. The odds are stacked heavily against Jake Paul, and anyone claiming otherwise is living in fantasy. Fans are tuning in to witness a world-class fighter dominate a YouTuber attempting to play in a league he doesn't belong. Anthony Joshua's experience, skill, and knockout power make this fight overwhelmingly one-sided. Nelson emphasizes that the spectacle is more about AJ asserting his authority than any real threat from Paul. It's a mismatch that showcases Joshua's dominance and Paul's naivety.
We can all joke, but nobody wants any permanent damage to happen to Jake Paul. But if Anthony Joshua hits Jake Paul with the right hand he hit Francis Ngannou with, it could brown bread him.
Carl Frock paints a vivid picture of just how devastating Anthony Joshua can be. One clean punch is all it would take to end this fight decisively, proving Joshua's superiority. Frock leaves no room for excuses or debate about Paul's chances. This perspective frames the fight as nearly preordained, highlighting the vast difference in class, power, and experience between a former world champion and a YouTuber. Fans understand that the spectacle is guaranteed to showcase Joshua's skill, while Paul risks exposure and humiliation. Frocka's blunt analysis underscores the inevitability of a one-sided contest dominated by AJ from the opening seconds.
So you're going to watch this to see, most people watch this to see Jake Paul get his arse given to him.
Frank Warren's analysis highlights the massive gap between AJ and Jake Paul. Joshua's Olympic pedigree, world championships, and natural size make him an overwhelming favorite. Paul's lack of amateur experience and only a handful of pro fights positions him as a dangerous underdog, only in hype, not reality. Warren's perspective stresses that this fight is more spectacle than competitive. Anthony Joshua's experience and technique will define the contest. This commentary makes it clear that Paul is stepping into the deep end against a proven champion. Fans can expect dominance and a lesson in professional boxing from Joshua.